Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and we're talking about the newest iPadOS release, iPadOS 13.2. Now of course this update will bring a ton of improvements and bug fixes, but what's most important is that it will also bring a ton of new features and changes to iPadOS. So in this video we're going to talk about the performance, the battery life, and of course the new features and changes that iPadOS 13.2 brings to the iPad. So let's get started. First of all, let's talk about the performance of iPadOS 13.2. Now I had 13.2 installed on my iPad Pro here since beta 1, and it has been amazing since beta 1. Very stable. I didn't face any bugs at all. Probably there are bugs, but in my experience, I didn't face any bugs with 13.2. That of course doesn't mean that there are not any bugs. Of course, there will be bugs with every software. There are bugs, but in my experience, I didn't face any of them on iPadOS 13.2. Very stable, and of course, it works very fast. Now moving on to battery life on the iPad. Of course, the battery life is really good, way better than on the iPhones, and of course, I had a pretty good battery life with iPadOS 13.2. I have to say I have noticed like a slight improvement from iPadOS 13.1.3, nothing major, but there should be a bit of improvement on battery life from iPadOS 13.1.3 or whichever one you have been before. On iPadOS 13.2, the battery life should be a bit better. That was my experience with iPadOS 13.2, and I hope it will do the same for you as well. Now moving on to the new features and changes of iPadOS 13.2. The first one you will notice here on the Settings app, there is a new section. This section is called Home Screen and Dock. Here you will find all the customization options for the home screen and the dock. Right here we'll have the more and the bigger features for the icons. So two options, you want to have bigger icons or more icons. If you choose more, you will also have the option to keep the today's view on the home screen. You can do that by enabling that switch right there. Then lower here we'll have multitasking and dock. You can enable the suggested and recent apps right here, and then you will have multitasking where you can enable or disable all of those features from here. So a new section on the Settings app. There is also a change on the dock on iPadOS 13.2. Now you will have your recents here, the recent apps. You can now 3D touch on them, and you can remove any one of them from there from the 3D touch menu. So you will have that button that says hide app, and any app that you want to hide from the recents on the dock, you can do that directly from there. Now of course on the 3D touch menu we also have the same changes that we had on iOS 13.2. So now you can delete apps from the 3D touch menu. You can see right there the button that allows you to delete apps. Also, the rearrange icons has been renamed to edit home screen. And of course, when you 3D touch on a folder, you can see the rename icon has been changed. It has been redesigned a bit. On iPadOS 13.2, there is also a big change on multitasking here. So if you want to slide an app here, I'm on the Notes app. If I want to put the Safari app here, I have Safari opened on a few tabs. Now if I place it here on the split view, you can see that it will show me the 3 different windows where I have Safari open. So I have 2 Safaris opened on the split screen, and I have one opened as a guard. And right here it will show me all of those, and I can go ahead and choose whichever one of them I want to open directly from here. And I can also close any one of them, so just swipe them up and you can close any one of them as easy as that. And of course you can just tap on one of them to open it right here. Same as iOS 13.2, on iPadOS 13.2, this screenshot flash has changed when you're on the dark mode. Now on the light mode it will give you that bright flash when you take a screenshot, while on the dark mode now it will give you a much darker flash. You can see that right there, a huge change there on the flash. It's way darker, it's like a gray color that will of course protect your eyes when you take a screenshot with the dark mode on. Also when you take a screenshot like of a specific website or like your messages or something, it will automatically name that screenshot based on the scene that you have screenshotted. So here I'm on Safari, I'm on the Apple website, and if I take a screenshot of the Apple website right here, you can see that it will name the screenshot Apple because it knows that I'm on the Apple website. Let me just go back here. If I go right here, I go to Google right now, you will see that when I take a screenshot of Google, it will name that Google. So you can see if I go there, you can see right there the name of the image is Google. The volume HUD on iPadOS 13.2 has also been tweaked. You will notice that when it goes away, now it has a different animation. Not just a different animation, it will also disappear faster, so it won't interrupt you with your content. You can see now it disappears way faster than on previous iPadOS versions. On iPadOS 13, you can take a peek at a website by 3D touching on a link. So right here, I can 3D touch on this link and it will show me a preview of that link, so of the content of that link. Now you will have the ability to basically hide that preview directly from there. So on the 3D touch window, you will have that option, and this will stay like this, so it will save that setting even for other links. So whenever you tap on another link, it will save that, so you can see it won't show the preview. If you want to bring the preview back, you can just tap right there and it will bring it back. And of course, as on iOS 13.2, on iPadOS 13.2, the new emojis are here as well. So you will see like a waffle there, garlic, onion. You will have like a few animals, a planet right there. So there have been quite a few changes, quite a few emojis have been added to iPadOS 13.2. I think there are over 70 new emojis that Apple has added to this new update. So a bunch of animals, a bunch of different foods and different stuff has been added. So there's also a new option. So right here, when you pick like different couples, now you will have the option to basically customize the couple. So you choose the first one right here, and it will show right here. The second one you can also choose here, but you can choose the skin tone. So for each of the individuals on the couple, you can choose a different skin tone. And then when you want to use that emoji, all you gotta do is just tap right there and it will add it to your text. On the podcast app on iPadOS 13.2, if you go to search, now you will have the ability to search for topics and people. So basically you search for different keywords, and if that keyword is mentioned on any of the podcasts, it will find and show you those podcasts where the keyword that you just choose has been mentioned. So you can find based on different topics or different people. On the Shortcuts app on iPadOS 13.2, now you will have the ability to share shortcuts. Just tap the three dots on any of the shortcuts and you will have the ability to share them from here. There are a few changes on the Settings app as well. Now if you go to Siri and search, you will find Siri and dictation history. Right here you will find a button that allows you to delete the history of Siri and the dictation history. Also, if you go to privacy, now you will find here a change, analytics and improvements, and right here you can enable or disable improve Siri and dictation. So if you don't want to basically send your voice and all that to Apple to improve Siri and dictation, you can just go ahead and quickly disable it directly from there. Also here under privacy, or basically if you go to general here, you will find AirPlay and hand off. These are new settings right here, and of course you will have automatically AirPlay to TVs, and if you go here you will find never, ask or automatic. On Safari, when you go to the settings of a website, you will notice now that the menu here has been basically separated into different sections. So you will see those gray lines which separate that menu into different sections. That's a change from iPadOS 13.1.3. Also, if you go to the reader view, you will notice that the fonts now are hidden. Now previously it used just to be like a long list of fonts right here. Now it will show just a button that says font, and it shows the current font that you're using, and you can tap right there and now it will show you all the fonts that you can use, and of course you can go ahead and change them directly from here and go back once you're done. On the TV app on iPadOS 13.2, you will find a new 3D Touch menu. So if you 3D Touch on an item, you can now go ahead and share it from the 3D Touch menu, or you can add it to the up next list as easy as that. Also, if you go to one of the items, now you will find there a new button. You can see that button that says added. That allows you to add it to the list, so you can add it directly from there, and of course also remove it from there. So tap to add and also tap to remove. When you go to the control center on iPadOS 13.2 and you 3D touch on the volume slider, you will notice that the icon right there has been changed to a speaker. Now previously it used to show you the device where you're playing the sound. Now it will just show a speaker, and the icon of the device where you're playing the sound has been moved to here. So instead of the speaker right there, it will show you that icon. Also, on the volume slider, it will no longer show you the text. So for example, if you're playing like on the AirPods, it won't show them there, but it will just show the icon right there on the volume slider. When deleting an app that has fonts installed into your device, you will get a new pop-up. So right here, if I go ahead and try to delete this app, you will see that it will show me that this app has 23 fonts installed on my device. And I can go ahead and tap right there, and this will show me a preview of all the fonts that I have installed using this app. And from here, of course, I can take a look at the different fonts. I can go ahead and cancel, or I can go ahead and delete the app. Another small change here when setting a wallpaper. Now it will show you the text that shows you whether the perspective zoom is on or off. Now this has been on iPadOS before, but now it has been removed. So tap right there, you can see perspective zoom off, and of course perspective zoom on. Based on whichever you choose, it will show you the text right there. So that's basically it for this video, guys. This is iPadOS 13.2. Quite a big update, bringing a ton of new features and changes to the iPad, and of course to the iPhone with iOS 13.2. So don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Leave a like in this one if you enjoyed it. Also, of course, if you want to see more iPad and iPadOS videos, make sure you subscribe and don't miss any of those, and I will see you guys on the next one.